Alright guys, welcome to a new video on this channel. Today we will answer some questions in detail. They get asked a lot either in Kassadin subreddit, Kassadin Discord, my Discord, or even in private messages. Some of them are pretty easy to answer and kind of self-explanatory, but I will answer them regardless. So the first question is kinda specific. Why does Dopa go Catalyst and Tier first? Well, first I gotta say he only does it sometimes. And well, the first reason is that he does it when he has a late game team anyways, which doesn't come online instantly. So we've seen this game, they're playing Fiora top lane, Kassadin mid lane, and Twitch Rakan bot lane. So this team doesn't come online minute 10, this team doesn't come online minute 15. From minute 20 onward, the team is going to be very good and probably outscaling the enemy team. But before that, he doesn't need items anyways, so he goes tier to already staggered in the early game. And the second reason is that he's literally Dopa. And people see Dopa and Kassadin and automatically know if they play around him, they win games. Playing around him means playing around his power spikes. So when he spikes later, his team will do something later as well. Well, in most cases. So the second question is, when do you build Sork Boots over a tier or Lost Chapter? Well, there are two reasons why I do this, but I only do it for one reason though. The first is to have some more movement speed, which Kassadin doesn't need anyway since he has his Riftwalk, and if he wants to roam, he wants to stack the Riftwalk anyways. And the second thing, well, it's efficiency. Now, if we take a look at these screenshots where I die to the enemy Elise in the jungle and the roaming support Senna, I only have one item slot left and I have a little bit over 1000 gold, if you can see that here. Now I could go for one amplifying tome, which gives me 20 AP for 435 gold, or I can use my gold efficiently and go Sork Boots, which will cost me 800 gold, but also give me way better stats. So of course I go for the efficiency here and take the boots regardless. Next question is Proto Build any good on Kassadin? And the answer is nope. Bye bye. When do you go Born Plating Overgrowth second? Well, against champions that you need HP against and that burst you, for example Camille, that is one example with her E and Q auto attack combo, then Jace, if he goes in, well, it's going to hurt, and Born Plating helps that, or prevents that for every 45 seconds, and Pantheon, it will extremely rare and also hard matchup. And when you go into Pantheon, you can choose to go Domination second or, well, go Bomb Plating and Overgrowth. And also with Adoran's Shield, again some AD carries in mid lane, you can do that as well. Especially Zeus, where you can still not fight them after level 6 without any help. Or I forgot to mention Talon here, of course. The first one would be Aphelios. The second one, Draven. Third one, Ezreal. He's kind of weird since you can one-shot him if you have flash. But otherwise, you can probably go that as well. But he doesn't burst you, so I would ditch him there. Lucian, Quinn, and finally Tristana. Alright, so the next question is going into the sorcery tree good? For example, to go Transcendent and Mana Flow Band with Presence of Mind as primary rune. Well, I think that mana and cooldown reduction should be, or should not be, your issue. Since with Word of Ages, Archangel stuff, the blue buff, and your W, and Lich Bane, all the items that give mana, you should have enough mana to work around with. And the cooldown reduction isn't that important on Kassadin since his cooldowns are pretty low anyways. And since you're going Archangels in, you should go Archangels in every game. It gives 20% CDR anyways. And sometimes, like, normally you should get the blue buff, so you have 30% CDR. And only for 10% CDR, it's not really worth going into the sorcery tree, no. When do you think Death Cap after Archangels is good? I'm currently testing one item build here, as you can see here, where I go Archangels together with Sork Boots and Rabadons in, well, pretty early. Also I tried to go Magi in between. And There will be a video about that in the next couple of days, maybe even today when I do this video. Since I've tested a little bit, and I think it's really better than Lich Bane into some matchups or team comp. If the enemies are pretty squishy anyways, then you can also go with Lich Bane. Since if you can one-shot the enemy with Lich Bane, you can one-shot him with Rabadon anyways, right? And if you can one-shot him with Lich Bane already, then going for these 10% CDR, the mana, and the movement speed, it's better. Also, well, yeah, that's it, basically. Yeah, that's it. Alright, next question. When do you think Morello's second is better than Lich Bane? I don't think that Morello's second should never be, or I think it should never be bought. Except if the enemy team consists like of some weird shit which heals every millisecond. Something like Ilaoi top lane, Mundo jungle, Aatrox mid lane, Vladimir APC, and Zoraka support. Like this won't happen in 1 of 1,000 games. You know, team comp like these. So you should not really go Morello Nomicon second. Because if you compare the stats from Morello Nomicon to, let's say, Lich Bane, you see it doesn't cost that much, and hey, it gives magic penetration, that must be good, right? Well, Lich Bane just gives everything that Kassadin needs, and Kassadin doesn't need magic penetration if he is not the only AP damage dealer in the team. If he's the only AP damage dealer in the team, and you feel like you don't need a Lich Bane, you can go for double pen with Sork Boots and Oblivion Orb, but not go Morellos until you need the healing. I can't stress this enough. You don't need to waste 1,400 gold for literally nothing. If the enemy top laner heals and you don't need it, if it's at the Maokai and you won't fight him in the next 30 minutes, you don't need Morello Nomicon. It's of course that's another topic if the enemy top laner, let's say, is a Vladimir and you never face him in the next, let's say, 10 minutes, but you see him getting fat and fat and fat, right? And you already have your Lich Bane, your Archangels, and then you think about, going Zhonya's would be better against the enemy team comp, but my team is too dumb to go magic, or not magic, but HP reduction, or heal reduction, so I have to go Morellos. If that's the case, well, it of course it sucks for you, but you can work around, or you can work around better than against this Vladimir than with any other item. But this is like pretty specific, so only go Morello Nomicons if it really needed for the heal reduction. So the next question is, when do you think Zhonya's second is better? Well, Zhonya's second, of course, we're speaking here about Electrocute Kassadin, who rushed Archangels, and after that, normally Lich Bane. Well, sixth question was, is Deathcap after Archangel's worth? Second, or seventh question was Morellas, and this is now for Zhonya's. Well, Zhonya's second is better if you play against a full AD comp, or if the enemy laner gets heavily countered by that item, with a stasis passive, with active, with the invulnerability and untargetability, or if Lich Bane is worse than Zhonya's into the enemy team anyways. So I have a video where I was playing against Riven. I have this on my YouTube channel, and I have to play against a full AD team. So after Archangels, I already go Ninja Tabis and Voidseekers. And after furthermore looking at the enemy playstyle, I came to the conclusion that buying Zhonya's second is better than Lich Bane or any other item. So I just went Zhonya's second. Of course, there are some things happening to Kassadin. I mean, he deals less damage. He's overall more tanky. And with Electrocute, Archangel's Rush, you really want the damage and not the tankiness. But you know, in some situations, it's just better to go Zhonya's. Especially when you don't want to die, when you need to carry a team. And not dying is the first step to carry a bad team. So sometimes going Zhonya's is good, yes, but you should always think thoroughly if it's worth it. If you have to play against full AD. And sometimes a good time stopwatch makes the job as well. There are games where you can go Lich Bane, or let's say Archangel's Lich Bane, and hold the stopwatch until you get Zhonya's. Like, not hold it in your inventory all the time, but only go in fights where you really need it, and even then think about, do I need to activate stopwatch here? Is it only the Aphelios ult which is not going to kill me, so I don't need to use stopwatch? Or is it the Rumble ult where I can easily Rift Walk out after 1 second and eat the 200 damage? It's fine. Or, you know, some stuff like that. Is it the Ashe ult who's going to catch me? Do I need to press stopwatch there? Or, I mean, it wouldn't yeah, work pretty much. But you know, is it the Bard ult where you can go stopwatch after and you see 5 enemies running to you and stopwatch before? So the Bard ult gets onto you and you can get out of your stopwatch and ult away instantly, so the enemies can't catch you. Is it stuff like that? You have to think about it before putting your gold into an item like Zhonya's, which doesn't deal that much damage, but helps you with surviving against the enemies. So the next question is Corrupting Potion start. Is it good? Back to Zhonya's hell. Well, here. That's why Riven game. Where I have to play against Riven, and I go Dinja, Tabis, and Zhonya's, and the full AD team here is consisting of Vayne, Master Yi, Kled, and Riven, and a little support. And again, this team, if Master Yi goes to me and I don't have Flash and R ready, then he can basically kill me, especially with these items. So going Zhonya's is really good just by ulting to your turret, and even if he chases you, he can Zhonya's, and you have 2.5 seconds where he can't auto attack you, where he can't you know, do stuff like that. And especially against like Vayne and Riven, if they full combo you and Vayne tried to E you onto the wall, you can Zhonya's before and don't get E'd at all. And for Kled it's the same. If he Qs you and want to drag you in your team and you don't have your Rift Walk ready, since you already used that, you can Zhonya's as well to prevent that from happening. And after that, of course, you can Rift Walk, you know, out of or in a safe range. That's basically about that. Alright, the 9th question again. Corrupting Potion start. Is it good or not? I think that starting Corrupting Potion is not good anymore. I know I include that in my guide, but well, that's how League of Legends is. It's pretty it's a pretty fast-paced game, and some kind of things are already outdated now. Even 2 months or like in 2 months. So Corrupting Pot start is not good anymore, but going back and purchasing it into some lanes is definitely a thing you can keep in mind, since the sustain drastically helps you in some lanes. For example, going Doran's Ring first and playing and 2 health potions, of course. And for example, you're playing against Qiyana or Akali or something, where you kind of fight them often and you want to proc your electrocute often against them, but you also need to go in, and if you go into these kind of champions, you lose 150 to 200 HP. Of course, they lose that as well, but if you lose it, it's going to be harder for you to go in again, of course, because you're Kassadin. So into these matchups, for example, where you know, okay, I can use, or I can make use of everything. I can make use of the health, of the mana, and of course the passive, the Touch of Corruption. Because if Qiyana or Akali, if they are invisible, and you attack them before, they get seen. Like there's a little ghost running there, because of the dot they get, the damage over time. So into matchups like these, it helps you pretty much, you know. And then you can go Corrupting Potion second, not first. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think that Corrupting Potion is a bad item or something. But I do think that going it as first item is not something you want to go. But as second item, it's really good in some cases. Alright, the next question is, what do you think of Dark Seal first with refillable potion into another Dark Seal and Corrupting Potion and then TP back early? Since I usually don't go more than Dark Seal while playing Fleet TP, since I usually don't take TP with Electrocute, only Ignite, and I usually don't take Ignite with Fleet, only TP with Fleet, I'm pretty strict there. So I don't really TP back early with double Dark Seal, since I don't go double Dark Seal with Fleet. Because I can't recommend it that much for Fleet. With Fleet Kassadin, you want to scale, you need your items. If you got double Dark Sea, you're going for early game, you know? You're not making Kassadin early game champion, but you try to help your early game a little bit more, against some champions especially. So, yeah, going Corrupting Potion with Fleet Kassadin is a bad shot as well, since he doesn't need the Corrupting when he has the TP, the HP he gets from Fleet, I mean. However, let's talk about that, about the Dark Seal, especially in question 12, or yeah, in 2 questions. So the next question would be, what is the best jungler to have as Kassadin? So I have Nunu and Lee Sin listed here. So when going Electrocute, it definitely Lee Sin. So if Lee Sin hits a Q, which he should when you slow the enemies with E maxed, then the enemy is dead in nearly every case. Lee can also shield you in later stage of the game, and he can kick people away from you, which harm you badly. You know, for example, Camille top lane is fat, and she goes to roam to mid lane. You can call your Lee Sin if he's your DQ mate, or you know, just your average solo queue jungler. You can ping him, and he comes to mid lane, and if Camille get to you, you can ult away, but then she's still going to chase you, and he can like kick her away, you know, or kick her even a turret, so she can't or yeah, your boss can kill her. Things like these. Lee Sin really shines there. And when going Fleet, it's Nunu by far. If you ever played with a Nunu who knows about passing and ganking, then you never want to go back doing with another, like with any other jungler. The combo of a pretty much guaranteed knockup plus the slow with Nunu's E, and afterwards the Q damage from him, which he skills, plus Aftershock, and finally the root with E, which just gives damage as well. It gives you so much time to get to the enemy and deal damage to him, like with a W or out attack W Q E, and another out attack, because like Nunu like perma changes the TCs the enemy. Perma CC change the enemy, like that. So yeah, you get so much time to deal damage to the enemy and to get to the enemy. And if you're level 6, Nunu has his ult, which is deadly if cast more than 2 seconds, and he can get these 2 seconds out if the enemy is rooted or something, you know, or slowed in general if he doesn't have flash. And even if you don't kill the enemy, you burn the enemy flash for sure, or you will have control over the lane. Since the enemy is low. If the enemy is low and doesn't have flash, you have full control over the lane. The enemy sits under the turret, he can't move out of the turret, he can't help a jungler since you're going to kill him anyways, if he does so. So you're having full control of the lane, which is a pretty nice thing to do. And then you can keep the enemy from going base, and then you can hold him under the turret for maybe another gank, and to finally kill him. Or you can just waste his time. Since he's not going to be able to farm properly with, let's say, 300 HP, while you're Kassadin and sitting in front of a turret. He's not able to properly farm, which basically puts him behind. So that's what I mean with full control over the lane. Alright, and the last question is going to be, what is in your secret build? So, I already said with the double dark seal, let's talk about that in question 12. So, question 12, what is in your secret build? It's not that secret anymore, since I already, well, said this multiple times and leaked that in my Discord. And if you play Electrocute Kassadin, this only applies for Electrocute Kassadin, and you feel like even if you get 1 kill or 2 kills, even if you get ahead, the enemy champion is still somewhat stronger than you. For example, Yasuo, Kiana, Akali, Echo, champions like these, they, of course, you won against them, you already killed them once, but these champions still, like, they're still able to deal with you, right? They're still able to, yeah, let's say to damage you in certain situations where you don't really expect it. Echo, for example, he goes out of fog of war with the W, and if you look away for 1 second at minimap, or if you're just not concentrated that much, you basically run into the W and you get a full Q art attack combo, plus his passive, plus electrocute, plus maybe another art attack from him. And then you're basically in the same situation that I just explained right now with a Nunu. If the enemy is low, then you're low, you're sitting on a turret and you need to get back to health, you need to farm safely, etc. You need to go back and get to full life again, since you just made a crucial mistake. And in matchups like these, where this is happening pretty often, if you don't really look at them, or if you don't really concentrate on the game, then, well, you come to the right place. Start with Doran's Ring, and go back at either 500 gold for Darkseer and Refillable, 850 gold for Darkseer and Corrupting, or 850 gold for double Darkseer and Refillable, or at least 1200 gold for double Darkseer and Corrupting. Why should you do this? Well, to be honest, instead of pinging in the comments or flaming me for this build, go try it for yourself into matchup like previously explained. It helps so much against these. Also, if you killed your opponent but you're low HP, you can just eat 2 Corrupting, and with double Dark Seal you get 313 health back, plus the base HP regeneration. Well, that's around 361 HP you get back, which is a lot. And let's say you stay for 1 or 2 waves and a potential plating. I mean, it lets you stay like well, after a kill when you're low HP, just like explained right now, you get back around 360 to 400 HP. Then you can go for 1 or 2 more waves and a potential plating, even though you should still be careful about the enemy journal. Give it a try before flaming the build. That's all I can say about this build. Give it a try. If you're facing against champions like I previously explained, go Doran's Ring style, which you should always do against these matchups, and then go back and try to get double Dark Seal and Corrupting ultimately. And after that, you can basically, this is not guaranteed for every matchup, but I would even say everything except Akali maybe. If she's good, then you can basically go in with your R. And if it's an AP matchup, instantly Q and pop a Dark Seal, a Corrupting. And again, the 80 champions wait for your Q and do an E first. And then after that, eat a Corrupting pot. And you're going to have such a fucking nice time. But, well, I can always say this another time, give it a try before flaming it. Alright, that's it. Shout out to Voidseeker for asking me these questions in a private message in Discord, which basically why I have this idea from doing this video, because some of these questions I get asked a lot, and instead of writing like some kind of essay every time, I can always link to this video. Alright, so I hope you have a great day. Comment under the video if there are still some questions left. Leave a like and subscribe. And well, see you next time.